Welcome to another episode of the Live More, Leave Your Mark Total Retirement Game Plan. I'm your host, I'm your person, Terence Brown with Left Tackle Advisors. Here's a great question we saw the other day. Someone who was retired, living off of their retirement accounts and working part-time, was questioning whether or not they should start their Social Security benefits early. Now, let me give you a rundown of kind of what was going on here. This particular person was single. They had about $2.3 million in retirement and other various accounts. They were working part-time, getting about $10,000 a year. From their investments, they were earning about $75,000 a year. So a total of $85,000 of income. Now here's the question. Should they start Social Security early? This particular person didn't need Social Security to give them their lifestyle. And so they were trying to weigh the pros and the cons of, do I start Social Security early, give me increased income today, delay my investments for later? Do I delay Social Security and let that increase? So let's talk through some pros and cons of this particular scenario. So if this person starts their Social Security now, they're going to get about $2,500 a month. If they wait till full retirement age of 67, they're going to receive about $3,500 a month. And this particular person has been advised that they should probably start it now because their average return on their portfolio has been really good and they could delay using those assets to later. Some pretty apparent pros would obviously be, well, now you get income from Social Security now, right? You have it today, it increases your income, and you can delay pulling from your investment accounts till later down the road. If leaving a legacy or having more cash on hand is important, this may be a potential good reason to start that Social Security benefit, especially if you'd want to leave, money to loved ones or something like that, or you have a charity you really want to support. Of course, it also means you're going to be able to enjoy that income sooner, give you the ability to travel a little more, have fun, enjoy time doing the things you love doing. And it potentially could enhance the current lifestyle, right? If they're already living comfortably and they don't need it, well, now maybe you can, again, add a few things, do an extra trip, go to that place you've never been that you wanted to. Now, here are some pros of potentially delaying, right? Every year you delay that Social Security benefit, it gets an 8% increase. Essentially, it's a risk-free growth on that particular asset, that future income that you're going to receive. If you feel like you have a lot of longevity, could be another reason to delay, giving you more income for those later years in life to support, anything that may come up the longer that you live. Here's where you kind of got to dig in and do some analyzing, right? Because as this advisor told this particular person, hey, your portfolio has averaged 9% over the last 10 years. That's greater than the 8% increase you get on Social Security. Now, that's a good average return, right? We would all like that. But we do got to recognize that that is market-based. That's not guaranteed to happen over the next 10 years. So there could be some fluctuations. It's a little more risk, right? Now, on the other hand, the Social Security being delayed, that's a guaranteed 8%. And so somebody who wants to take a little bit less risk may decide on delaying that benefit so that they can reap those rewards. So we got to look at balancing, the growth, right, that we want and the certainty that we want. Yeah, that 9% average on the portfolio is a little bit higher than the 8% guaranteed from Social Security, but weighing the pros and the cons of those two things and how much certainty you want is going to really be a deciding factor in what decision you want to make. One thing is your comfort level with market returns. And so that's going to also help you understand which route you should go. So what are the three things that I would recommend considering in this scenario? First, right, is what are your income needs today? Do we need that income to live? Can we potentially delay it so that we get an increase later down the road? Second would be the market conditions. All right, what are the conditions of the market? How volatile is it right now? And what is your appetite for risk as an investor? If you're okay with some risk and then potentially maybe having to reduce withdrawals in the future, you could take a little more risk and bank on the investment portfolio outpacing the 8% from Social Security. So understanding market risk and your appetite for risk on your scenario is really important. And I would always say too, do you know what your risk score is? Are you aware of how much risk you feel comfortable with and what would be appropriate for your situation? That's something that our team can definitely help with. And then the third thing I would recommend considering here is what's your health and what does the longevity look like for you? Many retirees nowadays are living well into their 90s. The chance of a couple 65 years old that one of them lives to 100 today is about a 10% chance. So if you know you have longevity and if you're in good health, that would definitely be a factor that you've got to consider. If you're single, a little easier to make that decision. If you're married, you also got to consider the longevity of your spouse. How long do we think they're going to be around? Obviously, when you draw Social Security is going to be a personal choice. Some statistics today, over 50% of people who start Social Security started at age 62. Now, I'm not saying that's a right or wrong choice, but it is something that needs to be considered. Is that appropriate for your long-term success when it comes to your retirement plan? There is no right or wrong answer. I always tease or joke. If you know the day you're going to die, I can tell you the exact day you should start your Social Security benefit. Of course, nobody knows that. So taking into consideration those things we discussed here today should help provide some clarity and confidence as you may come across a similar situation as this person did. If you want help, reach out to our team here. Happy to help point you in the right direction. Go out there, live more, leave your mark. Have a wonderful day.